All right, Mr. Aparajithan, could you tell us something about yourself and your company?
I am an architect. I did my undergraduation from Chennai and my master's from the US. Worked there for a few years for gaining experience. I came back in 2008 and I started my company, and it's been about 5 years now. As an architect, this is always what I wanted to do. So I wanted to have my own company, do my own kind of buildings and my own kind of projects. So that's the reason why I'm here.
Well, here in India, when we talk about the real estate sector, it's more about the carpet area and the concrete. We don't have much of the creativity or much of the mingling as the concept that you have. How do you think that would seep into the Indian concept?
See, right now my focus is on sustainable design and sustainable development of developing countries. I want kids to be playing on the streets again. You don't see kids playing on streets anymore. They're on their Xbox or their PS3s and stuff like that. So I create spaces where communities naturally gravitate towards, and they know each other, they play with each other, they talk to each other. So those are the kind of spaces that are lacking big time in India right now, and that's where my focus is on creating places like that. And obviously the other thing is, you look at India, we are extremely going towards oil dependent development, which I think is going to be a terrible thing for us. So instead, if we need, what we need actually is smart growth, and that's the kind of development that I focus on and try to bring through my projects. Key here is to present something which is attractive to people. I mean, too much of Hollywood and too much of cars has been the driving force so far. But what's the point if you can buy a car but can't buy the petrol to drive it around? Or even if you can get the fuel, where is the space to drive cars around anymore in Indian cities? The bigger cities the bigger roads you build, the more cars there will be to fill it. I mean, you look at Washington DC where I lived, or you look at Atlanta where they have like giant highways, and they get clogged up very quickly. There's no point in building, we don't have those big highways yet, but there's no point in building them also, because we're going to clog them up very fast. You look at every place in the Western world, they're all moving towards mass transportation and integrating transportation and land use planning, so we can take good trains to work. Thing is that there are a couple of things. One is rapid urbanization. India is becoming urban very, very fast, much faster than China, and we need our cities very badly, and we need our existing cities to grow in a smart way, and we need the tier 2 and tier 3 cities also to catch up. On the flip side, if you look at our villages, we've studied a few villages over the last few years. We go document villages every year, and we found that we are almost in the last generation of village dwellers in India. The farmers, the kids are all working in cities, and whoever was the farmers, that's it. Their next generation is not in the village anymore. So either the village is getting extinct, or it's becoming a suburb of a nearby town or a city. So that's what's happening to our Indian villages. So you see this transformation from the other side also, and then you look at our cities, and you take Tamil Nadu for example. We have 471 urban settlements, of which 20% lives in Chennai alone. So clearly there is not enough distribution or not enough smart allocation of resources or opportunities, for want of a better term. So population gravitates towards the bigger cities. So there needs to be a lot more overall planning and overall development for population to get distributed and all that. You look at the way America developed over the last 50-60 years. It was all about developing small towns outside of the bigger cities, and that's where their entire middle class grew up, and they became affluent, and that's how America built its wealth over the last 50 years. They have great natural resources, but that's not what they built it on. They built it on creating value for the middle class, and then a consumer based economy that created an overall value proposition throughout the country. So we are going towards a similar model. I just hope that we don't do it based on the automobile.